but is that really true? I mean, Bob Dylan was in
I
the
don't know.
middle of, he was part of a political movement. I mean, the words that he spoke and the rhymes and the
Mhm.
poetry that he sang is very politicized.
It's cool, man. It's cool to have you on board.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for having me.
Okay, let's. So
Yeah,
you migrated into India. That's not something that a lot of people do, and it's kind of something that will bring a kind of cultural shock to you. Right. So, how was
yeah.
the experience coming into India? It's a lot of cultural shock to begin with.
I've been here for 10 years now, so um, coming to India the first time, of course, was yes, cultural shock, and then I came to India every 2 weeks, 4 weeks for about 2 years. And then my trip started expanding. 1 month I was here, 1 month LA, and expanding more. 2 months in India, 1 week LA. And so before I knew it, I was just in India all the time. And culturally, yeah, I sort of you try to don't try to understand. I don't try to understand what's going on in India because there are so many different dynamics. I just accept it
Yeah.
for what it is and go with it.
Okay. So, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So that's the thing
Yeah.
with you guys, I suppose. Yeah. Uh, and that's one of the other things. Like you have a lot of fandom, and so is that one of the reasons why you moved to India?
No, no, no.
Like
I
no.
no India. I found immense amount of potential in business. For me, it's business. I'm not in Bollywood. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not in movies. For me, it's all
Mhm.
business. I see the growth in India pre-pandemic was
Mhm.
phenomenal. I mean, year on year, over and over, it was really, really remarkable growth. 8%, 12%, and there was a lot of opportunity for business. So for me, the longer I was here, the more I got done, and the more I got done, the more I wanted to stay. So it's kind of grew like that.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like most of the celebrities in India, once they get the fame, they try to move out. Yeah, but
Correct. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm the
in
opposite.
India, yeah,
Yeah.
you're the opposite of actually. You're the one who came in. Okay.
I'll tell you a small joke is that when I was online to get my Indian OCI citizenship card, and I was at
Mhm.
the FRO office and the passport office, they kept saying, "No, sir, I think you're confused. You're on the wrong line. U.S. citizens over there. If you need to go home or get some visa, or something." I said, "No, no, I want to become an Indian citizen." And I'm telling you, three different people came up to me and said, "No, I think you're confused. You're on the wrong line." So yeah, I think it's maybe not very common.
Well, I think it should be somewhat easy for her.
For her, it's different. Yeah, for her, it's different. She was born in Canada. Her mother is from Nahand. Her father was
Mhm.
from Chandigarh, so that's different. Yeah, for her, she's Indian, so this is home.
Okay, so let's get to the other point. One, you'll get a lot of criticism, and
Mm.
that's something that's quite obvious with all the factors down here. So, how did you cope with it in the first place?
Um, well, I'm from New York, so I have thick skin. Um, I mean, we're human, so of course you don't want to
Hmm.
read all of it all the time. We got a lot of criticism at first, probably for like, I would say
Hmm.
4 or 5 years, a lot of criticism, a lot of
Hmm.
backlash. But I don't know. I think that if you believe in your heart that you're not doing anything bad, then you don't let it bother you so much. I didn't let it bother me. I went through a lot of stuff, though. I had to deal with a lot of things, government and legalities and stuff, a lot of fraudulent claims and fake
Hmm.
FIRs, lodged against us and stuff. So it was a very tough fight, but you learn. That's all. I mean, we're human, but you learn to deal with it. You learn the system very quick.
Well, that's the thing, right? I don't know what really happened in there, but I saw an article on it. Like, she was on an interview some like in few months back, and you guys had to.
Which when there was an FIR lodged
I
against us?
no, I think it's a Pink Villa one where the guy was really being.
Oh, that's just an interviewer. Oh, that's just an interviewer who was being a jackass, asking questions that were
Yeah.
derogatory and negative. But she knows how to handle
Mhm.
herself. She's a champ. She knows what's up.
Like you had a Bob Dylan influence because you're a guitarist in the first place, and
Yes.
and he's in a concert. Like political and social trends are not really something that really matters to him. I think that's kind of a thing that you also take into action.
Well, listen, political and social trends don't for Bob Dylan. Okay, maybe now he's 81 years old. That's a little different, but
No, he said it in
Bob,
97 in London, I think, when he
yeah,
was young.
okay,
And
but is that really true? I mean, Bob Dylan was in
I
the
don't know.
middle of,
Yeah,
he was part of a political movement. I mean,
right.
the words that he spoke and the rhymes and the
Mhm.
poetry that he sang is very politicized. I mean, there's just no doubt about that. And even, I mean, even songs about people, for instance, like let's say a song like Hurricane is written about a boxer who was, he thought was wrongfully arrested and persecuted by the government, and he basically sang for his freedom. So I don't actually agree with that part that maybe he tries to steer clear of it, but he was in the middle of politics. There's no doubt. He was an icon for change, and that comes with political change and social change that was happening. The '60s, the late '60s especially, was such a massive political and social change happening in the country and that is he was in the forefront of it. Um, Myself, no, I don't steer clear of politics. I like politics in terms of following politics. I don't sing about it by any means, and I don't um, try to persuade or cast my opinion through my music at all. That I don't think it's my business doing. I think you should keep that separate. You're there to entertain people, then entertain people. If you're there to go do a political rally, go do a political rally, but don't combine the both. I personally feel that.
Like there's another political statement you made with your personal life. So like you adopted a child. So see, when it comes to adoption, it's not something that's quite popular in India, right? But that's something that's very popular outside. When you're a celebrity, it's quite something really popular, really ready to.
I didn't once think about through the whole process, which was almost 2 years. I didn't once think
Mhm.
about what someone cared or thought. It didn't even cross my mind one time. I wanted to adopt a child.
Mhm.
I applied for adoption, and that was it. I didn't
Right.
even use the
Well,
system. I didn't get ahead of the system. I waited my year and 7 months, 8 months. Um, and I studied the system a lot of how it was working in India, just so I knew
mhm.
where children were being sent and treated, and you know, I thought it was important to know. But I don't really know what other people do, or if it's taboo, or if it's accepted. I have no idea. I don't really think about that.
Well, that's the thing, right? For you guys, it's kind of
We do what
it's
we want.
okay to do it. Yeah, you do what you want. Like, but when it comes to other people around you,
Okay, I don't know if people are bothered by judgment they don't
okay,
get. They should possibly maybe think less about what other people care and what other people think, and just do what they want to do and what they love to do. Adopting
cool.
my daughter was the greatest thing I've ever done in my life.
That's kind of like learning to accept.
Yeah.
So, from what do you think of the society that you have right now? Do they really accept of
Like what type of things? Like
all
that?
kind of things? You face stigmas and the kind of stuff you really face the negativity. I hope, I don't know.
No, I think that, listen, for every good, there's bad, and for every bad, there's good. Every positive, there's negative, and vice versa. Every person that
Yeah.
talks something, there's somebody else that supports. So I don't know. I don't really like look into all that. I kind of go about my daily business. Negative stuff doesn't bother me or bring me down when
Cool,
it
man.
comes from somebody's
Mhm.
mouth. You know, just because social media has given a voice to every single person, if they want to write something negative, it actually doesn't bother me at all. The fact that they're taking the time to write something at all on my social media or her social media means that they're obviously engaged with what we're doing. And, at the end of the day, sometimes those are your biggest fans, even though they talk the most shit.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. I heard you. It's a kind of a podcast you're doing on Insta right now,
Mm.
and
Yes.
that's kind of right. That's kind of spreading the positivity around.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the reason I'm doing Stories of Hope is that I have been in India for 10 years now, and India has given
Mm-hmm.
me so much, and I wanted to provide resources back to India that people don't know are
Mm-hmm.
available. So every day we have people that are providing some sort of inspiration or hope or a resource to help people, humans to humans, and I think that that's important. And every day is one or two guests, and it's then people on that are watching my show can then contact those guests for that help and seek that help. And we've helped so many people. And I'm only 21 days into the show, and I broadcast every day. And we've really, really helped so many people.
What do you feel about the fandom and the fan base things that are happening right now around you?
For me, I'm not a celebrity. I just do what I want to do, and that's it. And people engage with me, and I'm fine with that. She is, a different level human being in terms of fans and fan bases. I mean, there's very few people in the world that have such a, I would say, magnetic fan base of hundreds of millions of people. And everywhere she goes, it's quite remarkable. And even I'm surprised. And, sometimes when someone will come up to her and we'll be in the middle of nowhere in the world, and someone's like, "Oh my God, you're here." Like, and I'm like, how does people, it's crazy. She's like a magnet. So I think the fans are amazing. And listen, she's built something that is second to none. It's because it's not about Bollywood movies. It's not a one single thing. She's done so much in her career and multiple careers that it's sort of this, epitome of like, so, yeah, I don't know. It's just so much. It's hard to explain even and pinpoint how it grows exponentially every day. It's actually insane. There should be a study done on it because it's quite remarkable.
You were a guitarist before you came to India, and
Still,
you've been on the roads for a long time. Yeah, still cool. Can you tour on the roads in India like you did over there?
like touring through India, you mean?
Yeah, touring to India, like
Oh, I
the
don't.
one you had in back.
Yeah, I mean, the band has come here before multiple times to India to do
Mhm.
shows. But generally, like for instance, next week I'm going to fly to Los Angeles. Then I'm going to do rehearsals. Then we're going to do a couple shows in Los Angeles and Las Vegas and a few other places in the States. And then, but we don't do that in India. Um,
Okay.
I personally would do it if there was a proper tour set up. I would do the major cities for sure. I haven't been asked to do a tour though in India, but I totally would do a solo tour. I would love to. It'd be cool maybe to do like, 20 or 30 days in a row, start off from south and
Yeah,
make,
being on the road for a long time.
yeah, I would do it for
That's not
sure.
something common here, right?
It's not common, but I think it could be done for sure because there's so many different markets here. And I don't think that it's that hard.
Right.
You played 2 nights in Bangalore, then 2 nights in Hyderabad, then 2 nights in Kerala, and you sort of made your way, and you did a couple of nights in Goa and Mumbai, and then up through whatever to a dropped, and you sort of just kind of bounced around. I think you could definitely pull off a really really great tour of easily 30 dates back to back, because every small sector has so many people that you'd have a different fan base every night for sure.